Okay, this video, I just want to cover several things from some of the handouts that I'm giving you to some sources and some information. Just want to go over it. And I'm doing videos just because I think some of you like to hear the information instead of having to read it all. So I hope it's helpful to you. If not, sorry, I am going to be saying some things that you're accountable for, so you probably need to go ahead and watch the video or listen um, so that you'll have the information as well. So this first handout I've included in the course, but it's called General Rules for Writing. And these are very important. I know sometimes I would like to think all English teachers go over these things, so I think these are familiar to you, but I just put them in a one-stop shop list. So I hope it's helpful, but we're going to go through these real quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them, but I do want to touch on each of them. So number one, organization may be the most important part of writing. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure you have a clear introduction, body paragraphs with topic sentences, and a clear conclusion. Organization lets your reader know where you're going, what you're trying to say. Number two, write a clear, precise topic sentence. Do not generalize. So a bad example would be, going to Six Flags is a lot of fun. Better would be, my trip to Six Flags the week before school started was filled with disasters. Okay, number three, make every sentence in the paragraph support the topic sentence. So important. Make sure you stay on topic within the paragraph and within the paper as a whole. You give support by supplying examples and elaborating about them or explaining them, but stay on topic. Number three, write a concluding sentence that reflects the main idea established in your topic sentence, but do not rewrite your topic sentence. Number four, give your paper a title that you have made up, a unique title. Your topic is not the same as your title. So a little creativity never hurts. Number five, double space final drafts of all writing assignments. Just do it. Always double space. Number six, do not use contractions. Unless you're supposed to be writing in a very informal style, a conversational tone, if it's academic writing, do not use contractions. Number seven, be sure to write a complete heading on all assignments. Well, you should know that. You probably learned that in elementary school, but it never hurts to be reminded. Number eight, use 1-inch margins all the way around on all of your papers. Number nine, in academic writing, which includes most of the writing that you have done for this course and what you will do in future courses, do not use first or second person pronouns, especially research papers. And in college, if you go to college, you will probably have to avoid first and second person pronouns in the papers that you turn in. So first person pronouns, you remember I, me, we, us. Second person pronouns is just you, your. So avoid those in your papers. Number 10, make sure you are using 12-point font. Don't blow up the font to try to make it look like your paper's longer. We're not stupid. Okay. And then the bottom part of this handout is just, it just goes through some mistakes that you need to avoid, grammatical and that sort of thing. So sentence fragment, comma splice. Remember, you never put two sentences together with just a comma in between them. That's a comma splice. Don't do it. You need a conjunction in there, or you can turn the comma into a semicolon and then it's fine. Run-on sentence. Make sure you don't have those. A fused sentence. So that's just two sentences stuck together with nothing in between them. Subject and verb agreement error. We was going to the ball game, but it got rained out. Not we was, but we were. A shift in verb tenses. Make sure you stay the same when you're using verbs. Bad grammar. I ain't gonna have time. Just make sure that you're using proper grammar, especially in an English class. Make sure you understand the writing topic. Okay, and so this is, there's some examples here. We don't have to read all of them, but it's very important that you understand your topic. Okay, so that's the first handout, just kind of a general handout. I think it's important for you to have these and be familiar with them. Okay, now specifically for research. This is a list I provided you of vocabulary words and definitions. So you just need to study these. You will have a quiz over them. You'll be part of your exam. There's 25, and you're familiar with how to study vocabulary, so I won't read through the words for you, but there they are, 25 words you need to study. Okay, now this is a sample paper. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Okay, I pulled this from the Purdue OWL website. Let me just go back over here and show you. Okay, the Purdue OWL, owl.purdue.edu. This is a great resource for you if you have questions, if you need help about writing, research writing. I just want to show you this website. If you go to Research and Citation, and then we're doing MLA style, but if you get to college or for another class you need to do APA, there's also APA. But if you click on MLA, I usually go to the Formatting and Style Guide, and it gives you lots and lots of information. So it tells you everything you need to know. So in-text citations. So it's going to tell you an in-text citation, just so you know I'm not throwing out a phrase that you're not familiar with, is when you pull information from your source and you put it in your paper. A citation is giving credit to the author. So if you're citing it in your text or in your paper, it's just within the body of your paper where you cite your source. You tell your reader where you got the information. So usually, so you're going to, this gives some examples. Wordsworth stated that romantic poetry was marked by a, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, end quote. And then right after that, in parentheses, you put the page number. Now remember, you only put the page number because you already used the author's name. But if you don't use the author's name, you have the same quote, and after it you put the, in parentheses, Wordsworth, the author, and the page number. And notice that the period goes after the parentheses. Or if you paraphrase, you don't use quotation marks, but you still put the page number. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that website, and obviously there's lots and lots of information here that I didn't click on, but you can click on it. The sample paper, that's what I'm going to show you next, but I got it off of this site. I just clicked and downloaded. But if we go and we look at it, this is what the paper looks like. So this paper follows MLA formatting, and there are notes here that explain everything. But first, when you look at it, you see it's double spaced, and you can tell it's about 12-point font. It is 12-point font with 1-inch margins all the way around. And you have a header here on the first page, but on every page you have a header with your last name and the page number. So this is page 1 of the paper. Just so you know, green text boxes contain explanations of the MLA style guidelines, and the blue boxes contains directions for writing and citing in MLA style. Here's your title, the title of the paper. It's not bold, it's not underlined, it's just at the top of your paper, and then you get into the paper. Now, I will say, I'm looking at this, yikes, I'm looking at this paper, and I probably shouldn't have used this one as an example, but here's a problem. Look at this. My goal. You really this is not proper academic writing unless the instructor specifically wants you to write in that style. Traditionally, you do not say, I'm going to explain, or I looked, or I researched. You just put it out there. But for this example is more to show you the formatting and what it looks like. So, this paper has headings, which I wouldn't require if I were having you write a paper, but some of your instructors might. So headings within the paper for each individual section. I want to show you, I want to get to, here we go. So here is a quote. One of these improvements was the developments of canals and steamboats, which allowed farmers to, quote, sell what had previously been unsellable and resulted in a substantial increase in a farmer's ability to earn income. And then afterwards, you've got the author's name, page number, period. So that's how you would incorporate a quote into your paper. Now remember, all the quotes and everything that you put in your paper, they're all meant to support your position, to back up what you're saying. Just as a note here, this, if you see in brackets within the quote, what the writer, the student here, the quote actually was substantial increase in, and it said something else in the original quote, but in order to make it clear, they replaced it with a farmer's, and they put brackets around it to let us know that that wasn't part of the original quote, but everything else was straight from the quote. Okay, so that's kind of what your in-text citations look like. And then if I want to go to the end, oops, went too fast. The works cited page at the end of your paper. So you finish your paper, and some professors may require notes. In high school, you most certainly would not need to have notes. Your teachers probably wouldn't require that, but in college, perhaps you would have to have notes. But works cited, that's the last page, and that's just a list of your sources, all the sources that you used within your paper. And there's specific formatting for each source. If there is an author, you always start with the author's last name, comma, first name, period, and then the name of the work. And then, like I said, it's in particular format. And you notice that it's all double spaced, and the first line of each source is on the left, and then this is called a hanging indentation. So every line beneath that one is indented until you get to the next source, and you'll notice that they're in alphabetical order by the author's last name. Now, how do you know what the format is right there? How do you know what order? How do you know to put the author's last name, then the title, and then what's this number here? How do you figure that out? Well, I'm also including a citation chart. So this, let me go to the front of it, the top of it. The citation chart, we're looking at the first column because we're talking about MLA. If you were doing APA or CMOS, you would look at those, but we're looking at MLA. So citing a book, and it tells you, it shows you an example, single author, the last name, period, the title of the book, period, Penguin is the publisher, comma, and the date published, period. That's how to cite a book. And then it's different, 2 to 3 authors. It shows you, tells you what to do. So that's a book. Unknown author, you start with the title. If it's an encyclopedia or a dictionary, it shows you. Okay, so whatever source you're using, you could use this chart to figure out how you would cite, how you would list that source in your works cited page. Website, here's how you would do a website, page from a website. Now, after the chart that shows you how to include it in a works cited page, there is the chart that shows you how to do in-text citations. I think I might have just scrolled past that. Oh yeah, this is part of it. So it just tells you how to cite the source within your paper. So in-text citations, if you're citing a book, if the author is named in it, like we talked about earlier, you would just use the page number. If the author is not named, you put the author's name and the page number, no comma or anything, and then remember the period goes outside. Okay, that is just kind of touching on several of the sources, the resources I'm providing for you. I wanted to go through them with you. So I hope that helps, and you will find these individual resources within the unit. You can open them and download them yourself for studying for the exam.